Grand final time, ladies and gentlemen. The best of 5 starts off on blast. Refuge. Xlord against Cash. And down to the bottom left of the map. Xlord currently rocking it here. One last Refuge in red and all the way up to the top right. Here we go. Cash going up against him. And yeah, this one should be fun. We had actually some pretty impressive games in this Ryzing Cup. And this is actually the last Ryzing Cup before we are heading into the playoffs. So it's going to be pretty fantastic. And guys, just in general, if you're currently watching this on YouTube, then also a quick reminder, if you actually want to see more Warcraft 3 content on YouTube and live on Twitch, make sure that you give the video a like. It's the best indicator for me usually if people would like to have a little bit more of that type of content or not. So if there is demand, if I see that people enjoy these videos, I'm of course a lot more likely to create more and to cast more tournaments here. So just as a bit of a heads up for everybody watching this later on in video form. Ooh, a little bit of a misclick here. Xlord pulling all the acolytes away for just a moment, catching himself in time. And here we go. We have our Death Knight as the first hero, as you would obviously expect. And on the other side, it is a quick drop into the Blade Master right here. Okay, awesome. So I'm actually really hyped for this because we've seen Cash already with a couple of crazy games. He played against Vortex earlier, and that series was just fantastic. So another Undead versus Orc setup with the same style and same intensity is definitely something that I'm not going to say no to. This is the best of 5, of course, in case... I actually think I mentioned it already. But yeah, let's get this action going. Graveyard is already in. Death Knight is going to make it out soon. A little bit of a scout at the top. One of the things that Xlord is, of course, going to try and figure out here is also what kind of first hero the opponent starts with. We've seen a couple of opening with a Farseer already, but there's now a Blade Master that is about to join the fun. And here we go. Tojara in as well. And yeah, a little bit of early items is obviously what we expect from the bad boy. Town Portal is going to be sold once that the shop is done, and then a few more items to keep hit points and mana in play for him. And with Windwalk, he's going to have the opportunity to move down to the bottom of the map and try and harass the Death Knight a little bit. Gets the Gloves of Haste as one, so it's always pretty nice. And yeah, nicely done here. So right now, replenishment potion gets dropped. The coil here making sure that the Blade Master isn't ready to sneak this away. It's obviously the annoying thing if you are playing against an Orc player just in general. You never really know, is he just close by? Is he going to try and steal the item away? Is he going to attempt to last hit? And in this case, already fighting for experience points. But now also with the Circlet of Nobility in the inventory, Blade Master went straight up to the shop and grabbed that one. And well, with that, tech in the main base should already be underway. Yes, here we go.
A player's forces are under attack.
Okay. So, with that, we now have Necropolis tech straight up into the Halls of the Dead. And I mean, the beginning of the map is pretty much the standard that you would expect here. But I already like that Cash is trying to steal as much away from Xlord as he can. And trying to go for the item grab here over and over again is a huge deal. And it leads to a clause of attack plus 6 stolen away. And that's, of course, pretty nasty because the Blade Master eventually is going to pick up those critical hits. And those are going to do mad amount of damage the more damage items you have. Blizzard actually went a little bit back and forth on the damage calculation. Just half a year ago or so, the damage items, so Claws of Attack for example, didn't really figure into the critical, but was added on top of the damage later on. But now, and only the stats items were figured into it, so Boots of Elven Skin were one of the best items that you could get because of that. But now it went back to where the critical is figured, or when the extra damage is figured into the critical damage right away. So they went a little bit back and forth in the setup, but since they also started to change Windwalk slightly and made a couple of other changes that kind of made up for it. So yeah, balance patches, of course, not really the big focus for Blizzard at this point, because they're still trying to fix a lot of things that kind of went wrong with Reforged. And I guess we're going to expect quite a few updates there. I think so far we only had one. If I didn't miss anything here, I'm actually pretty sure. Tech into Stronghold is also nearly done, but with Fiends now at the bottom of the map. Ooh, yeah, that's a little bit more experience. Blade Master gets the hit in. Nicely done. So now we have level 2 already for Cash. Up to the top. The Death Knight is also trying to get something done here. The problem for him is that there's nobody creeping, so he can't really get too much in that sense. And now that we have not only the grunts but also the Blade Master himself here, that Death Knight is taking a fair amount of damage. Now it comes down to a micro battle between the two. And the Blade Master is eating a lot of that focus fire that we get from the Crypt Fiends. And that is definitely helping, and helping quite a bit. But the DK needs to be careful that he doesn't run straight ahead into those grunts, because this is going to cause him quite a fair amount of pain too. Tech into tier 3 should already be underway. Actually, prioritizing the Lich here slightly. Horse of the Deck tech hasn't started yet. There it is, straight into Black Citadel, and up to the top. We're gonna see tier 3 for the Orc player 2 with the Shadow Hunter as the second hero once more. So a bit of an early skirmish between the two of them. Not really too much aggression just yet. We've had some nice moves from Cash where he was trying to steal some experience away, which he successfully did. And on top of that was also able to steal some items. For example, got the Claws of Attack +6 here. But now we have the Lich in play, we have the Shadow Hunter in play, so both already with the second hero. Tech has started up now too. But especially with the Shadow Hunter, it starts to become a little bit more tricky for the undead player to meet his opponent on the map, because Hex is a big tool in the early stages of the game. There's also the Wand of Illusion that has already been put to some good use to spy out where exactly Xlord is positioning his army now and is creeping. So it allows the Orc player to stay away from that and get his own creep going. Gets a Ring of Protection over here. Would have, of course, loved to pick up a second Claws of Attack +6. That extra damage on the Blade Master would have done a lot of work. And off we go. Not really too much early aggression just yet. I mean, again, we've seen some really aggressive plays, especially the Vortex Cash series earlier started off with a bit of a bang, but now that we're in the grand final, the two players are, of course, just chilling out just a little bit more, at least in game number 1. This is a best of 5. You can always adapt later on, but it's a play for the big spots right now from both. We have Frost Armor already in. Lich is actually sniffing the play out from Cash as he was aiming for the smaller camp here. And Xlord is now currently trying to get all of that experience here. Blade Master is still there though, and actually steals it with the last hit, so nicely played by Cash again. Steals the experience away, gets it for himself, and well, there's the hit. Straight with an attempt to go for the Wall Warden on level 3. Blade Master is nearly on level 3 himself, so that would be kind of nice for him too. And he gets it! Steals it again! Nice! He's actually way ahead of Xlord at this point. But Xlord gets the item, or as one of the earlier items. He got a mana potion, greater mana potion, so incredibly strong item, for Undead in particular. If you can fire away a few more coils or novas in those fights, then this is just the dream. Okay, Hex is in, and the surround attempt, and he actually gets it. Nice! Gets the surround, and, well, Frost Armor is a nice deal here. There's another Hex. I don't think that he can necessarily get the kill, but he's gonna force the town portal. And, yep, TP gets forced. Grunt survive. Yeah. Yes, they do. Great play by Cash. That was a big win for him. Not only did he steal several creeps away from his opponent, but he was now also able to force a TP, get the remaining camps, has the Shadow Hunter on level 2, the Blade Master on level 3, has also the Kodos in play, and without the town portal is also tricky. And also, we have now the Tauren Chieftain in the game. And he has the Orb of Lightning, which he's going to pass over to the Blade Master. So Xlord is having a bit of a problem here. He's falling behind in experience, and that's never really a good thing against an Orc player at this point, especially with the triple hero setup. Now Xlord is going to likely add the Dark Ranger to his own army and add the Silence, and he's going to need that because that War Stomp on the TC side needs to be countered out a little bit. And there we go. Level 3 for the Death Knight. Nice. Gets the Healing Wards on the other hand, more so an item that is used in most cases in, well, in creep spots. You don't actually see it being used all that much within the fight itself. With statues, of course, in the back you could still do that, but the problem always is that a quick hit from any unit can take that down with ease. So that's an issue. There's a little bit of scout from the Blade Master, and he is really going for the meat grinder now. 13 additional damage might not be much, or well, not as much as he possibly could have here, but having 2 Gloves of Haste on top of that, that is just going to crit the shit out of it. So yeah, more crits, but not quite as much crit damage, but I think he's going to be pretty happy with that. And yeah, it's going to be meat grinder, just like chop, 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 chop the entire time. Tombs get claimed. The attempt to go straight up for the Lord over here. And I think he's actually going to grab that one. Yes, Xlord was on the way towards the right side of the map, but he's actually more deviating into the middle of the map for the Dark Ranger. And that drops the Lord, and he gets the Scourge Bone Chimes. Holy hell. That's the Vampiric Aura for Cash, and that is a pretty big deal here. Well, he has a couple of melee units. I mean, for the TC and the Blade Master alone, it's great. But of course, we have Berserkers now. Okay, items, Ring of Protection. It's quickly passed over here. Has the Potion of Greater Healing at this point. There's the level up for Cash TC, which means that we're going to see the aura drop through. And yeah, he's in a great spot. There's the silence on the TC as he starts to move in. But already the attack straight up for the Dark Ranger. And Xlord is realizing that he has to get out of here. Supply for the two is identical at this point. But Xlord is in a bit of trouble. The items are fantastic that we're seeing on the other side. Again, Potion of Greater Mana should always be pointed out here too, because it is a game changer. But with the aura item and especially the TC now also looking at the Cloak of Flames, this is just pretty bonkers. So there's a bit of a bait on the creep on the left side, but the Blade Master already sees that. Blade Master is right here, and that's a problem. Banshees, and he kills one. Easy kill on the Banshee. Lord at least goes down. Medallion of Courage, there's better stuff for sure. Here comes the heal on the Blade Master, and they're already starting to move straight up in for another potential kill here, attempting to take the Crypt Fiends down, but Burrow gets used. There's the silence against the TC, Tyrant Chieftain, but now the double Kodo Beast is there too, so you could try go for a quick snack against the Crypt Fiends. Yeah, Potion of Lesser Invulnerability is already getting used by the Dark Ranger as she's in trouble, but a big stomp from the Tyrant Chieftain. He's a bit low himself, so he could actually fall here, and he gets focused immediately. Was just way too deep in this case. But Cash is on 42 supply, Xlord is on 43, and the fight is not over by any means. TC or no TC. 3 heroes against 2. Kodo Beast still didn't devour anything, but more units are falling as we speak, and that Blade Master is still looking for additional damage. Berserkers are slowly dying here, though. Quick Coil to save the Lich for a little bit longer. There's no Town Portal for Xlord, so that might become an issue. The heals from the Shadow Hunter as one statue after another is getting attacked here. Crypt Fiends are still alive. Xlord and Cash on identical supply right now. Xlord now getting another Fiend out and dropping himself... Oh, 47 for him now, so rebuilding this army quickly. Now, Cash is on the run now. If he loses those Kodos, that would be a problem. 128 damage on those crits. Well, that is pretty nasty. And again, the damage. But he doesn't have... The problem really is that he doesn't have any kind of reveal. The second that he gets the Dust of Appearance in these fights, he can take those Crypt Fiends down, no problem whatsoever. But now Xlord is just micring his heart out in these approaches. Another hit, and same shit, different day. Yep, same thing. And the expansion for Xlord at the bottom of the map is now getting built as well. So, yep, here we go. And Xlord is looking for more experience. Xlord is starting to come... I mean, I don't want to say come back into this because it's not like he was super far behind or anything. But now we get a double upgrade. One for the Dark Ranger and one for the Death Knight. And that expansion experience was something that was quite nice for him earlier. And Cash, he has a pretty sweet setup. He just YOLO the Tyrant Chief into the backline of the undead player too aggressively. And since he didn't have any potion, he couldn't keep him alive. The Shadow Hunter was also kind of zoned out a little bit. I mean, he was not very close. Alright, next item is in. Healing wards for him too. And Cash is sniffing out the expansion down here. Can maybe force a cancel. Yeah, he actually is in a really good spot to force the cancel. That would be fantastic for him, and he is going to get that cancel. Look how quick that guy is just firing away these auto attacks. It's honestly a bit nuts. So there's the cancel on the expansion. Great move by Cash. That worked out nicely. Can still get away here. Has that Blade Master on level 4 now. So that means the crit on level 2, which is super powerful here. And there's the items now. So the Potion of Healing and the Potion of Lesser Invulnerability on the TC. So now if he goes into the backline in order to get those stomps in, that is going to be a lot more impactful because he can't just get focused like he did in the last fight. That was a big problem that he had there. 50 supply for Cash. Xlord is trying to get the base up again. He's on 50 supply himself. Bit of an advantage in, well, in levels for our Orc player in the game, since he has the level 3 Tyrant Chieftain, so that gives him the level 2 Warstorm. And that's where the Dark Ranger has to actually shut that down. If she doesn't, if those storms just go through, then the backline is going to get destroyed. Warstorm is such an amazing ability to have in any of these fights. Yeah, Berserkers obviously so far with 0 upgrades. Kodo Beast did also not really play the biggest role in the last fight, and that's actually kind of important because a double Devour against Crypt Fiends, 2 of them removed as the fight starts, that would have made a huge difference too. Xlord again with the choke point control and gets the snipe in against one of the Berserkers immediately. It's not only experience, but he really controls the position here. Now that base is also about to be built by Cash, so Xlord is not the only one that is trying to set himself up with another source of income. But it has been sniffed out. So Skeleton sees it, disappears though. Late Master, a copy at least moving through. And Xlord body blocks it quickly, but of course he realizes that it's just simply a wand of illusion. Cash with 1,000 lumber, by the way. He's not going to run into any problems there anytime soon. 60 supply for Xlord, so even though he didn't have the expansion ready, he moved over into the low upkeep. Tries to get the experience on the right side of the map. Sees, of course, that the Orc-Lord has been eliminated. So he can't grab the item any longer, but he's still in a position where he can catch the experience, which is exactly what he does.
Player's forces are under attack.
There's not a lot of creep camps left on the map. Yep, seems like we're going to get another potion of lesser invulnerability, and indeed that's the case. 1 scroll of healing for the Shadow Hunter. So on the item side, he's doing really well. He also has now the Dust of Appearance in the inventory, so that is going to help him too. Taking a couple of those Acolytes down is going to help to shut down the additional income. And as long as he just rushes away from the undead army, that's not going to be a problem for him either. So yeah, that delays the entire thing. Right up to the top with the tiny Great Hall, we have Cash already mining. Xlord doesn't. At least not as much. So he's more likely to fall behind here a little bit. Yeah, and he's still sitting at the bottom of the map. Just showcasing, hey, I'm here. If you don't make sure that there's a defense, I'm going to just rip your entire economy apart at the natural. Yeah, but Cash is now getting more units in. 61 supply for him. Yeah, it's all about like taking a bit more experience. I mean, it's not like any of these units or any of these heroes is super close to gaining an additional level. A little bit different on the undead side, where the Dark Ranger is about to hit level 3. And here's the setup. Rushes in, straight to the front. Focus on the Shadow Hunter. Oh, that's a kill. Body blocked by his own army. And Xlord just taking the opportunity there. He didn't have anything. No items, nothing. Cash with a big blunder. Rushing straight into the choke point with this. Has to rebuy the shot. That's a lot of resources. Doesn't have any mana just now. But they're starting to move in. And that's a big stomp, by the way. Holy hell. Yeah, that's exactly the stomps that you want to avoid. So he might have lost the hero, but at the same time he made up for it with a pretty fantastic stomp on the Tauren Chieftain. Potion of Lesser Invulnerability is out, and the TC is dead. 2 heroes eliminated, and he's about to lose the Shadow Hunter again. Potion of Lesser Invulnerability just in the nick of time used, or he would have lost it again. 49 supply for Cash, 67 for Xlord. Cash with a GG. Horrendous fight for him. Absolutely horrendous fight. And that's the lead for Xlord in the grand final of Ryzing Cup number 12 in this best of 5. Map number 1 goes to the Undead. Game number 2, everybody. Well, Cash YOLO'd a little bit hard into that choke point in game number 1. And Xlord took advantage of the situation right away, nuking the Shadow Hunter and afterwards taking the TC down too. So with those 2 heroes eliminated quickly, was little that Cash could do, especially since he started to also lose his units in the process. So Xlord has taken the lead in the grand final. The best of 5 starting with a 1-0 as we now head into game number 2. Concealed Hill is the map. Question is still, how do you conceal a hill? We still don't know. Nobody has told us. But what we do know is that Xlord has now a chance to set himself even further ahead in this best of 5. And also secure his first victory in the Ryzing Cup series. Pretty much all of them were won by Happy, with one big exception. Xlord also back then made it into the grand final. That was Ryzing Cup number 10, when he played against Blade, but he couldn't take down the human player. And lost the series with a 1-3. Now he finds himself in the grand final. against an opponent for the second time, where he has a chance to take the victory, and actually he's in the lead. Death Knight first for him, once more of course, and all the way up to the top right. That's where we have a Blade Master in again. Okay, so far so good. So Blade Master opening, going up against the Death Knight once more. Pretty much what you would expect here. I mean, honestly, on the other hand, we've already seen a couple of fast hero openings from Cash 2 against Under, so it's not like it's the only hero that he can play. But he's played with this aggressive setup the entire time. By now, the Acolyte is actually deciding to slap away. Of course, Xlord wants to know what exactly the first hero is, and is double checking that out. I love that he actually plays around the fact that he's currently sitting there with the with a burrow, and even puts a P in this one. But yeah, Blade Master is in and is starting to take some experience, starts to take a few of those out, and let's see how this is gonna work out. Okay, so Augur Warrior goes down on level 3, and again Shashlik time. Gloves of Haste. Down at the bottom of the map, what does Xlord get? Xlord, of course, going for the exact same creep spot, and he gets the Claws of Attack +6. Yep, Blade would have been happy about that. No, but for Xlord, this is actually seriously a really good start here. So in this case, he has a good chance of making this a 2-0. And I mean, Cash, generally speaking, super powerful tournament from him so far. But let's not forget that he, even when he beat Happy in Ryzing Cup number 10, wasn't able to make it to the grand final. Now we have him at the shop again after he also sold his town portal. He bought the Xlord of Mobility again, the stats boost that he has now. And can start to take a few of those. Well, actually, not trying to sneak anything away. Instead, it's just like damage against the Death Knight he's out for. I mean, nice setup here too. Xlord playing around the coil to make sure that he gets the experience here. Of course, wants to make sure that he gets level 2 as quickly as possible, but damn, that Blade Master is already doing some solid work. But here's the Unholy Aura, and that gives Xlord a slight advantage. Has first of all now a boost in speed, but also in hit point regeneration. That is definitely going to help him.
Forces are under attack.
But we are still looking at the giant sea turtle here. And it seems like Cash wants it. Question simply is, can he get it? Because Xlord is already back to 50% HP, and now that he realizes that the Orc player is actually making a play for it, he's trying to get the experience, and actually he steals it away with the minions. So the item goes to the Blade Master, but the experience was taken by Xlord. Nicely done. Gets the attacks in, and that was actually a pretty sweet move. So extra experience for the Death Knight and stealing it away from the Blade Master, who's still sitting on level 1, so that was a nice one. Bit of body blocking here with the grunt, so that's nice. But he still has, of course, to deal with all that coil support that the Death Knight is offering the undead army. But yeah, tech into tier 2 on both sides. I mean, a little bit more of an aggressive stance this time from the Blade Master that we've seen on the last map, but the MO is still pretty much the same. Both of them are attacking straight for the second hero here. Love this map. Tons of frogs. That hill isn't concealed by anything, by the way. It's just a lie. But still, frogs everywhere. That's a plus in my book. Frog's definitely the best critter in the game, so that is definitely true. Okay. And, well, with this, Murloc Huntsman goes down, and that, lo and behold, gives us level 2 for the Blade Master. Gets spotted out there, but he's still a bit low. Needs those healing salves, and he needs it quickly. Whereas the Death Knight is still rushing around with his Unholy Aura, and can now try to lay waste to those smaller camps on the map in order to grab maybe even level 3 early. But we have, of course, the techs already completed into tier 2, which means that it's again Shadowhunter time. Beastery is on the way, Shadowhunter is in, a little bit of creeping down at the bottom of the map. And that's actually a pretty nice one. Creeping his opponent's natural with the help of 3 grunts not only gives him a huge chunk of experience, but he also is going to grab a decent item. And again, you steal the opponent's experience away. If everybody just starts to focus on their own side of the map, that's a nice deal. So that's experience that Xlord later on is not going to get. But he's himself not really lazy. He's currently in the middle of the map at those shops. Claws of Attack +9. Nice. Great item for him. What did Xlord get? Xlord is actually still in the middle, busy at the shop with the Augur Magi on level 5, and grabs the Sentry Wards. Sentry wards are always like such a do or die item. It's like really weird. It's like a bit of a mixed bag because you have games where sentry wards don't do jack shit for you, and then in the next game the sentry ward is literally winning you the game because let's say a blade master runs up to you, you have a sentry ward, you get a kill. So yeah. Shadowhunter on the other hand is pretty much out on the map right now. Honestly, if I would see that guy walk past me, I would believe it's just a wand of illusion, like an illusion in general. So yeah, there's that. It's a little bit weird. But I mean, anyways, with level 3 right now, we have currently the Blade Master on a level 2 Windwalk. That's nice for him. So pretty much the system shifts a little bit. So now the Shadow Hunter takes over the solo creeping with the rest of the army, whereas the Blade Master is just fully committing to his full-time job, pissing the opponent off. He has a PhD in hero harassment, or so I've heard at least. Catches at 35 supply now. There's no expansion attempts or anything yet. But of course the tier 3 techs are underway. As you can tell over here, nearly done. And over to the red team does the same thing. Okay. Then again, no... Actually there's one task of appearance. There's 2 charges still on the Death Knight, so you can use that. And should, as all of this is happening right now, since of course that Ogre Magi is still there. Xlord so far hasn't used that at all. There it is. And he gets revealed. So I don't think that he can steal that one away, but at least he keeps Xlord on his toes. Yeah, there's the coil, secures the experience, and he gets the item, and that was a good one to fight for. +6 if the Blade Master gets that as well. He's sitting at +17 damage with Gloves of Hate as an addition. That was a nice steal though. So well played by Cash, and he's still busy up at the top with his own second hero to get even more experience for that, and also get access to the heal, which he has right now. Yeah, one Wind Rider in. But third heroes are now going to come up soon too. Of course, on the side of the Orc player, we have again TC, Tower and Chieftain with a Stomp. It's just like a must-have right now. Xlord sees this. Yeah, Xlord knows fully well what's going on right now. But the big deal is really what is going to happen around the Lich in particular. Because, yeah, they try and snipe the Orc a lot again. There's no real army, so if he actually traps this, that's all that he really needs to do. Is trying to. He knows that the Blade Master is there, but he's still actually semi-committed to this. So he's still trying to get this. And the Blade Master's moving out. He knows obviously that there is still a Dust of Appearance set up, so he's actually letting this one slide. Instead he's making his way to the right side of the map to creep there. Medallion of Courage. And Xlord is trying to go straight in for the Red Drake. Cash is. And Xlord could now try to get the one on the left side of the map. So both of the players are already going for the bigger items here. And well, let's see what we're gonna get for Cash. On the item side, okay, Hilarious Flute of Accuracy. That's something where he's probably gonna be very happy that Xlord didn't get it. Would be a great item for him. Depends a little bit if he wants to focus into Berserkers later on again. Level 3 on the Blade. I mean, the first heroes are pretty much on the same level, but with the third hero it's a different story, because the third hero with the Dark Ranger for Xlord is still on level 1. He just got it at the tavern. So he's going to try and creep that up here at the top. Yep, one Red Drake approach, please. Xlord using also the last Sentry Ward that he has here. Web is in. And there's the Blade Master. Has in the inventory now with the +16 damage also the Orb of Lightning. I don't really think that he can really steal the item away, but even a bit of experience would already be annoying. 3.5 for him right now. What did we get as an item? Sobi Mask. Nice. Yeah, always neat for an undead player to have more mana. Especially on the Death Knight, of course. Not only great for nuking the opponent's heroes, but also pretty great for saving your own and your units. So Xlord with 49 supply, Cash on 50. A little bit of an item swap also here. And ooh boy, yes, Potion of Greater Mana. Great item. And with the Shadow Hunter on level 3, that's a pretty sweet setup, because that heal wave is going to do wonders for you. Yeah, pretty solid setup actually for the second game here. So those fights are going to be pretty epic. We have very few items that the guys bought. Just one potion of lesser invulnerability on each side. Potion of greater mana against a potion of greater healing. Here's the tiny great hall again, as Cash is trying to get an expansion into play. A lot quicker, by the way, this time than he did in the last game. And Xlord hasn't made any real moves for an expansion yet, but he's sending the Acolyte out as we speak. So now that he's secured on 50 supply, he's definitely thinking about getting a second source of income. We don't have any upgrades for those fiends yet, but he has a pretty solid army. 5 fiends, has also the 2 obsidian statues here. 15 damage on the Lich. Need from him. Alright, Coil Nova. Oh, the Blade Master. Oh boy, that was a money dust of appearance. Hell yeah, quick reaction from Xlord too. So now down to the bottom, the Acolyte is already spotted out. Blade Master can't really do a whole lot with that. Blade Master still trying to get away here, I might add. Yeah, and is able to get away. But that got clutched for a second. If he makes it too... I mean, if he's too close to the Lich and he eats the second Nova, he's pretty much... I mean, I don't want to say dead, because with the Potion of Lesser Invulnerability, he's probably still going to be able to survive. But he's going to be in a world of trouble. That slow alone is going to allow the undead player to catch up. And then in theory, you can even wait out the Potion of Lesser Invulnerability if you have full vision. And your opponent doesn't have the Windwalk available to rush away. So there's always a huge risk when you're moving into any of these positions. Especially without items. But, well, 55 supply for Xlord, so he's already crossing over into the low upkeep. Same, by the way, for Cash. He's at 60. I mean, he had the tiny great hall, so that's a big investment for the item itself. But you get the expansion so much quicker, and that really gives him the boost in income now that he desperately needs. Passes the Scroll of Speed over too. TC still on level 2, which means he has the Endurance Aura, of course, but he doesn't have the level 2 War Stomp yet. And this time the fight is a little bit more advantageous for the Orc player. This time he has more of an open shot into this, which he didn't have before. He has already the focus onto the Wind Rider. That's an easy kill. Storm comes in. Good connect over there. Trying to make the play for the Destroyer. Good coil, but it doesn't save it long enough. Only delays the inevitable. But talking about inevitable, that Khaldor isn't made to last either. Try to go for the Devour and gets quickly focused and annihilated. Xlord still gonna try and play around the burrow here, most likely. Nova against the Berserker. So much damage. He can take them down one at a time, and he gets another Khaldor destroyed. Level 4 for the Death Knight. Xlord on 51 supply. And at the same time, Cash is dropping down to 50. He lost a lot here. Cash lost a lot. Seriously, I mean, Khaldor's down. It's a lot of resources that he used for all of that stuff. Now, of course, there's even more damage coming in with another Nova connecting, but the slow is the most important one, because everybody else is going to get hits in too. And with the Banshees that we now have, and the Curse getting continuously dropped, that's a huge problem for the Orc player. And nearly level 3 for the Dark Ranger as well. Just look at the difference in experience on the heroes now. That last fight was handily won by Xlord. I mean, pretty nicely. Cash is at 53 supply, and he was way ahead in supply before that battle started. So that was a big, big win for the undead player. Having the nearly level 3 Dark Ranger is a big deal now. 4 on the Death Knight, so that was a solid setup for him. A little bit of a harass at the top lane, but of course this is not really going to do too much. Just simply the leftover skeletons are sent there to scout out what's happening. Xlord is fully aware of all of this now. Has a +1 attack upgrade, by the way, on those fiends. Yeah, Blade Master is still checking all of that. And kind of needs to too. He doesn't want to fight that either. There's no upgrades currently for Cash. And Cash is at 57 supply, but Xlord is going to feel extremely comfortable here. Level 2, nearly level 0. Dark Ranger has still the Potion of Greater Healing. A couple of additional items would be nice for him too. He's at 58 supply right now. Cash is at 62, so it's pretty much dead even. But also we have, thanks to those statues, more and more mana. I mean, Banshees are full mana. Lich needs a little bit more, but that's all.
A player's forces
currently in the main base, as you can tell, have the Adept upgrade. So once that's done, Xlord is going to be more or less ready with the entire setup here. A few more fiends are currently being produced. But once that he has his entire attack concluded, this is going to hurt Cash a lot. Now, Cash has good items. He still has a potion of healing also on the Shadow Hunter. He has 2 potions of lesser invulnerability. That matters quite a bit, as we could already see in the last game. But still, you look over to Xlord and he doesn't shy away from moving to the shop and buying himself a couple of extra items either. Potion on the Lich and 1 on the Dark Ranger. There's of course still scrolls that you have to think about now. Cash has 1. That could help him too, on the Blade Master in this case. But both of them still sitting tight. I mean, Xlord is waiting for his tech to complete. And they're also waiting for the additional experience to come through. But yep, there it is. Scroll of Healing. Already taken by Xlord. Moved to his own shop, got himself a scroll. And could in theory now also invest into even more. 66 supply against 67. On the supply end, they're nearly on eye level. But Cash is moving in again. He's looking for the aggression as we're heading into all of this. And Cash is a bit ahead in supply. I mean, it's not really a big lead or anything. Especially when you're considering army supply. There's obviously less workers involved, or less worker supply involved on Xlord's side than what we have for Cash, with all of the peons on lumber in particular. Talking lumber, Cash is down to 100 at this point. Yeah, AMS, here we go. That's a different story. Yeah, 1 Banshee down, but also we're losing a few Berserkers on the left side. They were a bit in a bad spot. TC had a tricky time there. Oh, the Hex and the kill! What a setup. Cash with a brutal kill against the Undead First Hero with magnificent timing, a fantastic War Stomp, a Hex follow-up, and that was just no chance. Lands Death Knight. He goes down, Xlord on 56 supply, and that is literally the backbone of the Undead army that was just destroyed. Level 4 for the Blade Master. TC on 3.5, Cash at 60 supply, Xlord still fighting tooth and nail, and he rebought himself DK at the tavern, but oh boy is he suffering right now. That was incredibly unfortunate for him. There's the Hex again, this time the Lich is the focus, but he's able to get away. The fight might not quite be over though, because Cash is actually losing a lot of units here. He was able to do a huge amount of damage by taking down that Death Knight early on. And now he's starting to lose quite a few units. Xlord is not quite out of this yet, but the Dark Ranger is low. Everything is low here. The statues are falling too, and Lich is in trouble, but gets healed at the last second. Xlord is at 51 supply. Cash is at 59. More units get produced as we speak, but we have the level 4 Lich right now, and Cash has to realize that fighting underneath the towers of the Undead player is a bit of a problem. Now Mana is back on the Death Knight. Having the Sobi Mask is definitely helping his cause here too, in addition to having statues, of course, in the back. But this fight might not be over. The Berserkers are suffering from all the damage that the Nova is pushing in. And we have more and more units being rebuilt by Xlord. And he still has that Nerubian tower. And that makes the entire endeavor very awkward for Cash. Every single time he's trying to move in deep to get a kill in. Especially when his heroes are starting to be in trouble. Cash still has those Kodo Beasts though. And one of them already devoured a Fiend. Another one hasn't really grabbed anything yet. But there's another setup. Do we have enough mana for another Nova? Well, the answer is no. But he's still trying to get damage through. That Shadow Hunter, on the other hand, is just healing everything he can with one wave after the next. Cash on 63 supply. Xlord on 59. Supply numbers are still not too bad for him. The focus onto the Lich again, but there's definitely enough mana for another coil. And this time the Hex was just a bit mistimed. Just 1 second too late. Another Headhunter falls. Xlord, he's definitely on the back foot now, but he's starting to recover. He's actually nearly on the same supply than his opponent, and he's getting more damage in. If he can take those Kodos down, Crypt Fiend is back to business. Could use the Burrow there too in order to keep it alive a little bit longer, because eventually it's going to fall one way or another. But there's the quick TP. Yeah, 1 Fiend down. Second one survives for now. Xlord on 60 supply, Cash on 59. Cash is losing a lot, actually. Cash is actually starting to lose a ton of units here too. And that's extra experience, of course, for his opponent. We see I think this one is going to fall. That Berserker, yeah, secures it with the coil. It's actually insane to me that Xlord is still in this. He has 1,000 gold right now, and he's reproducing his army like it's nothing. But if you just think this through, he's ahead in supply. If you think this through for a second, that insane kill against the Death Knight was just crazy. Absolutely crazy. It's the perfect time. I mean, the fight starts and the Death Knight goes down. Bam! And now Xlord just saved it again with the micro that he showcased during the battle itself. Especially after he rebought the DK. 2-1 upgrades on the Fiends. Helps, of course. There's only a single attack upgrade that we see for his opponent. We have still the Spirit Walkers in the TC nearly level 4. Shadow Hunter nearly on level 4 as well. Level 2 Hex would be nice to have for him too. It's all about the items again, and we still have so many potions of lesser invulnerability. I mean, look at the... just look at the items that we have on that bad boy. He has 4 right now. Yep. There's another one. And 2 on the Blade Master. Items, items, items. And Xlord is recovering here. Heading into the next fight with a full mana pool on the Death Knight is going to be big. But there's another expansion now. Cash actually put another expansion in play. So Xlord is now in, I don't want to say trouble, but he's definitely in a position where he has to start making some plays. Fair enough. Yeah, he definitely has to start make some plays, because as the game continues, Cash will capitalize on this extra source of income. So that's going to be a pretty big deal here. This is something to definitely keep in mind. So the game is going to shift a little bit. Cash is going to be very happy to just sit tight and wait for the expansion to make a difference. Whereas Xlord is now the one who all of a sudden has to take the initiative and say like, okay, let's go for it. Yeah, pulls his acolytes too. Has no gold mine anymore in the main base, so why not? 77 supply for him. 75 for Cash. 75 supply for Cash. And AMS everywhere. Anti-magic shell on literally every single unit at this point. And the fight is already about to start. Same time though, we just see the Spirit Link all over the place for the Orc player. Acolytes are already going down here. But he's trying to shut down the income as much as he can. And here comes the fight. There's the stomp already as the TC moves straight into the army. Can't really nuke that bad boy. Still has the potion of lesser invulnerability, but he can definitely silence him. And that's exactly what the Dark Ranger is currently doing. There's level 4 on the Shadow Hunter already. Level up for the Town Chieftain as well as the Orc player is starting to take down the Undead army. 65 supply for Cash, but Xlord is still fighting at the same supply numbers here. The Death Knight in trouble, but he's able to make his way back out again and doesn't use the Scroll of Healing just yet, but always has the option. Sobi Mask in the inventory, plus in addition also the Potion of Mana. I had to use the Scroll just a second ago. Xlord on 72 supply. Cash is dropping down to 61. Cash is losing units all over the place. Uses the Scroll as well. There's the healing wave, but he loses Berserkers one after another. That's a level 4 for the Dark Ranger. And oh, even with the Watchtower here, it seems a bit tricky for Cash. Cash is down to 59 supply, and Xlord holds on to 66. He's a bit ahead, but the Lich is exposed. Lich is all the way up at the front, gets the coil, survives for now, and still has a Scroll of Healing in the inventory. Turns it around against the TC, who nearly dies here, but gets another quick heal from the Shadow Hunter. But it seems like this base is going to be in mad trouble. Xlord 68 supply, Cash at 62, but the continuous damage against the expansion as Cash is trying to hold on to his third base, and now Cash realizing that he won't be able to defend it. He tries to pull the peons out, 3 of them already eliminated, another one about to fall, and the Watchtower is going to bite dust too. Big problem for Cash now. 60 supply against 68. Xlord has taken the lead here, and he's also the one that will have the first level 5 hero. The Death Knight is incredibly close of leveling up. 4.8 right now, and still has the Potion of Mana. He's not the only one, by the way. Potion of Mana for Xlord and a Potion of Mana for the Lich. And let's not forget that thanks to all of the statues that he has, he's just getting those mana pools back to maximum, and also the hero pools. The hit point pools. And now the situation shifts again. Xlord is the guy with the expansion over here. And now it forces Cash to make an attack, which is tricky. Yeah, well, the Necropolis doesn't do anything. But there's the Nova again. Lich in a really good position to fire away from the side. One Spirit Walker is already down. The quick attack against the Fiend is already interrupted as the coil saves it for a bit longer and delays the time. Yep, Devour attempt by the Kodo Beast. That didn't work out. Both of them actually snapping empty air, but nothing else. And the TC with another big storm. 54 supply for the Orc player, 62 for Xlord, and one hit after another. The Curse is doing so much work right now against the Berserkers. The Banshee is definitely being the backbone of the army, with level 5 on the Death Knight, giving him access also to the Death Pact. Has the Death Pact in play, and we are just going in straight in for the next hit. Death Knight is going to be so much safer right now, but there's the next level 5 hero as the upgrade hits the Blade Master. Blade Master on 5, Xlord on 55 supply zones. Cash is losing everything. Level 5 Lich. Cash is pretty much down to heroes only at this point. A few Berserkers are remaining, but those are far and few between. About to be taken down, and the more important part is that the TC falls. GG Xlord with a 2-0 lead against Cash in this grand final of the Ryzing Cup number 12. Game number 3, potentially the last map in this grand final. Xlord has the 2-0 lead over his Orc opponent, and boy, what a series it was so far. It's actually incredible. Cash, starting here on Amazonia on the top right, did a pretty good job in the second game again. And in particular, his performance in the first fight over Xlord's base expansion was pretty incredible. I mean, a perfect stomp, war stomp against the Death Knight, followed up by a Hex and a quick heal against the first hero, was pretty much all that you needed there. And somehow, Xlord still able to not only win the fight, but actually defend his expansion, and then gain an experience lead and a supply lead over his opponent is just incredible. His micro is insanity. So now we have the Death Knight again in game number 3 as the first hero on the undead side. But it's really impressive how this guy is always able to just recover from any position in this game. And his micro in these fights is just nuts. So Xlord just absolutely stepping it up here. You can definitely tell he wants to win the grand final now. Secure himself not only a decent position in the standings and therefore a position for the playoffs, but also win a little bit of money. And Cash is starting to change things up. So he looked at this entire thing and said, okay, listen, different map, different style. I'm going into a Farseer now as the first hero. That didn't really work out thus far. So let's change things up a little bit. And Xlord is already scouting this out. As in the previous games, he wants to know what the first hero is. He's playing around that Voodoo launch a little bit because there's nothing else to do right now. So let's go. And off we go. Farseer as the first hero and the Death Knight against it. So Xlord already knows that he's up against a very different style now. We still have the Spirit Wolves immediately being summoned, and now that we have the double camp here up at the top, you can go for that for sure. And, well, the Acolyte isn't gonna make it either. So that's another 25 experience that Cash can now rely upon. But Xlord is currently... I mean, he's not really thinking about attacking right away. Instead, we're just seeing him trying to grab some items for himself too. But can he actually make this a 3-0? It would be insane, especially given the fact that Cash did an amazing job against Vortex previously. Fell behind actually in the series on the first map and then turned it around and won 2 games in a row. So now that we have the Cloak of Shadows in play, we see a bit more experience taken by the skeletons, but Xlord is underway with the Death Knight up to the top right, trying to see if he can maybe snipe something there too with a quick coil. Not so far. Farseer is not really in a spot where he wants to do anything here. Nice self-kill, tries to deny the experience to the undead player. Healing self on the grunt, that works out too, but of course for Xlord it's kind of important to attempt at least to deny more experience to the Farseer. Don't let him get too high in levels. He's currently on level 2, Xlord himself is on 1.8, so yeah, getting there slowly. And well, on the item side we actually have the Gloves of Haste for the Farseer. So tech is ready for both of the players. Well, ready in the sense that it has started for both of them, Stronghold Tech and Halls of the Dead.
Under attack.
But this time, Cash with the summonings can, of course, either start to harass or he can just like try and go for a couple of creep camps. But harass is, and again, he needs to be a little bit aggressive. The Blade Master shenanigans haven't really worked out, despite the fact that he had sometimes really solid openings here. But instead, we're now seeing him move into the main base of his opponent. Xlord already blocking a bit, but as you can tell, there's an Nerubian Tower upgrade. The problem is that he's nowhere near being done with this one, and he is still in the middle of the tech. So if he starts to lose a few of his acolytes, that would be a disaster, since he can't rebuild those units in time. But now we have level 2 for the Death Knight as well, which means that second Cloak of Shadows, that's gold. Quite a bit there. But, which is kind of more important, he has level 2 now, so he has the Unholy Aura on top of this. So you can actually just simply try to see to it that the Orc player doesn't get any experience himself. We have the Nerubian Tower now completed, so it's a bit easier to just like stand against any kind of aggression that we could potentially see. That's a problem. Xlord just messed up on the ghouls. He did not realize that he didn't put the ghouls on lumber. That's a huge problem. If he doesn't actually spot this soon, then he's going to have a huge lumber problem here. And that can delay everything. That can delay his tech into tier 3, and it's going to delay, I mean, every single kind of unit production. And he has not picked up on it yet. Massive problem by Xlord. Misclick from him, and that's going to hurt. Especially if he's so busy microing here right now that he doesn't see any of this happen. And those ghouls are still not doing a thing. That's a massive, massive problem. He finally figured it out, but that was a long time coming. So he is way behind on lumber now. Big, big problem for Xlord. And that must be really annoying for him. So as you can tell, tech is done. Has already the Lich started and is wondering why the hell can I not upgrade my Halls of the Dead into a Black Citadel. And the answer is pretty easy. Because he did misclick and the ghouls didn't do anything. So, yep, now he's delayed. Yeah, Xlord has to play around that little fact now, whereas up to the top right, of course, his opponent has now the TC as the second hero in play. We're currently seeing him with a War Mill. No tech into tier 3 yet. But there we go. Death Knight is in. Started the Black Citadel deck tech by now. But here we have it. More aggression against the grunts. And with a bit of body blocking, honestly. Yeah, there's the surround. Gets the surround, but the Death Knight is a bit low. And the TC! That's a kill. Clutch! Holy shit. Yeah, he gets at least a kill against the grunt. And can he save the rest of the fiends? I mean, he should be able to. One good stomp, on the other hand, might mean the end of them. Yeah, there's a stomp. Can he get this one? There's a surround. And the Death Knight, yeah, it's not going to be ready for the coil. So it's a trade, grunt against... Yeah, nearly the thing. Yeah, it's pretty much a trade. Grunt against the fiend. And in addition to that, also the town portal. He can take a wild guess who's winning that trade. Now we have a potion of healing in the inventory of the Death Knight, as he just claimed that, but that's problematic. Alright, over here, that's already the Kobold about to be taken down, so that's at least a bit of a win that he gets the creep. And there's the Tomb of Strength taken, plus also the Gloves of Haste passed over to the Lich. But again, we're in another setup where Cash with 36 supply is currently looking pretty okay. Xlord's delay on the tech is going to impact this definitely a little bit. Yeah, the attack again. But he needs to be careful. One good War Storm and the Death Knight is in trouble. So now that he doesn't have a Town Portal anymore, things are tricky, especially with the Raider in the mix. So once those Raider... take down with the Ensnare. Death Knight. You can definitely tell what he's trying to kill. Death Knight is still on the run. Doesn't really seem like he's going to get it. But now he can turn it around against the Lich. And Xlord is already microing his units over to the right side of the map, and for good reason. Needs to get out of there. But where's the Ensnare? Not in yet. Alright. So nothing really happening, but that could have been problematic. Let's take a quick look up to the top. Beastry. Yes, upgrade is through. Okay. 40 supply against 36. Xlord, by the way, now halfway done with the tech. Has also the slaughterhouse in the way, so we have, in the meantime, the first obsidian statues, a couple of additional fiends are making it in. No attack upgrades yet, but it's all about the creeping. Trying to get that Death Knight in particular to level 3. Pretty similar setup, obviously, on the other side. Farsia is close to 3. Needles a TC, at least with the aura. Big item again, since he has another potion of greater mana. Honestly, this game is going fantastic for Cash. But I've said this before. I've said it before, and then Xlord somehow turns it. The question is, can he do it this time? Because this is problematic now. Statue is actually getting out. Seriously? The statue is microed away, and now a grunt is down. Coil saves it over here. He's trying to go for the Tower and Chieftain. Keep in mind that TC has not only level 2, but he has also the Potion of Greater Mana in the inventory that stomps all day, every day. 44 supply for Cash, 39 for Xlord. And he's actually still maintaining the position here and gets the set up. It's insane. Now the Great Hall is still getting produced, so we still have Cash with an attempt to get an expansion in. And the attack on Xlord's side is now nearly done. Acolytes are coming in to repair the obsidian statue. It's still mind-blowing to me that he was able to save this one. Just saying. But yeah, somehow he was able to keep that alive. Okay, so now we have the Murlocs starting to drop. Lich, of course, gaining the experience here. We have also the Destroyer upgrade being produced right now. So far no third hero just yet, but well, we'll see. Problem is really this expansion over here. Cash is about to complete it. I mean, it's taking a little bit more time, but once that he sets the peons over there, definitely has a chance there. Xlord needs level 3 heroes, and honestly, he is behind on the hero levels. We see the Orc player with the level 2 wolves already, and he's soon going to also have the level 2 available on the Warstorm, which is the bigger deal in all of this. Which is one of the reasons why the Farseer actually moves even away from the spot, because he wants to ensure that all of the experience ends up on the Towering Chieftain, so that he gets this quickly, and indeed he does. Gets the boots of Khaldor here. Not really something that is necessarily going to help him here, not quite the first attribute on the Towering Chieftain by any means. Xlord has level 3 now on the Death Knight. Lich is still a couple of experience points away from it. But it's still 39 supply. Can always get the Dark Ranger now as a third hero again. Also, Burrow about to be available. Can't get access to the tavern though. Yeah, with Cash now coming through the top, there's no access path to the tavern that he can use for this. Got these items ready, but Cash has the expansion now. And this is really one of those things where, again, Xlord is in a spot where he eventually will have to either counter-expand, rather sooner than later if that's the game plan, or instead make sure that he is at least taking the fight to the Orc player, right? He needs to be aggressive and play through his tech advantage a bit if he really wants to. Stronghold tech still, so it's not like we have tier 3 or anything on his side. Can now move in the middle if he wants the Dark Ranger, and yep, there we go. So already ready for this one. Has the resource in just a second, and with that we should see the... Oh, Pit Lord. Fair enough, also great. Gets the AoE out, so in this case no play around the silence to stop the TC from stomping, but instead getting with the getting the Pit Lord in, which we've actually seen against human also a fair amount. Yep, and there's the Howl that he can easily use in that fight. Even the ghouls are being brought here. Xlord is at 50 supply, his opponent is at 56, so it's not really a massive supply difference. But already, yep, there's the Howl. Bam! Okay, so damage reduction. First statue is down though, so that's already a nice start into the fight for his opponent. And the fight is already up. Yeah, one snare after another. No Burrow here. Xlord at 46 supply. Cash at 51. Another Howl. And the Coil saving the Pit Lord for now. Death Knight always staying away from the TC as much as he possibly can, making sure that he gets not hit too hard by those storms. There's no Shadow Hunter for a quick hex though, so that's definitely a plus for Xlord. Cash is fighting his heart out here. He's at 52 supply. Xlord on the other hand doesn't really look all that shabby. He's at 47 still, and he still has a scroll of healing in the inventory. Could use it right now, but the kill, the stomp was too good. This time connecting with 2, and that drops the Pit Lord. Level 1 hero is down. And Xlord with 42 supply against the 49 on Cash side has to worry. If he doesn't win this fight, then he is up against an opponent that will have a big lead in supply and income over him, since this base is not anywhere being taken down. Xlord is in trouble, and he knows it too. He needs to push through this. And he forces the TP! He's on even supply, and he actually forces the TP. So at this point, the ghoul has pretty much denied the entire income here. So he sent one ghoul into the eco line of his opponent, and that already did the trick. So now the entire income of Cash at this expansion has been denied for at least a little bit. And, well, the Farseer, level 3, nearly level 4. Yeah, Xlord is still in this. He needs a third hero back to business, and he does. But he's only 4 supply behind his opponent. It's a little bit bonkers, honestly. Again. But still, when we look over to the Towering Chieftain, he still has the Potion of Lesser Invulnerability and the Mana Potion. And Xlord, Lich is a bit low. Plus 11 damage. But forcing the Farseer TP there was insane. That was exactly what he needed to do. And of course there's a bit of scouting happening right now, whereas the Dire Wolf gets a quick glimpse at the natural. There's nothing happening over there, so he knows fully well that there's no expansion for Xlord, that Xlord will have eventually to move to the top and attack again. 2 potions now. Well, actually, yeah. Potion goes over to the Pit Lord. Potion of Lesser Invulnerability. is in for him. And how is Xlord going to play this out? I mean, he has 2 level 3 heroes. If he really wants to level up his army, taking the camps, getting a little bit more money, and also trying to grab a few more items is definitely going to help. Sending a few units over to try and attack the Peon line is great. By the way, we still don't have that saturated. Did he get a couple more kills in with this? I mean, either way, income is definitely not a premium over here. And he actually gets another Peon, damn son. Alright. And while Cash is distracted, Xlord is creeping. Xlord is creeping and actually got Rune Bracers. Maybe not the insanest item against an Orc player, but against the Chain Lightning, against the War Storm, I mean, hey, that counts. Anything that keeps the Death Knight alive. Anything helps, every little bit.
A player's forces are under attack.
And Xlord is starting to outcreep his opponent a little bit. He's going to have level 4 heroes in just another second too. Same level that the Orc player. Difference is he still has a level 2 Pit Lord together with that. With the AoE damage. This, on the other hand, is pretty nasty because that's a big creep that he just pulled off. And that means the TC is nearly level 5. A level 3 Warstorm would break Xlord's neck. And already we have, as you can tell, the Cloak of Flames. That is already insane. Cash is actually about to attack. I don't really... I mean, I hope to God that he's not going to attack the main base of the underplayer. There's better ways to suicide. Alright. He's doing it. I mean, as long as he doesn't dive against the Black Citadel, that's fine. But this is him taking a risk, and I don't really think that he has to. Xlord on 49 supply, Cash is on 65. He has mad resource, don't get me wrong, but still, it's taking a risk going up against an undead base. Undead bases are really tricky to break through, and you are risking a lot here. So, yep, Ghoul down, but we also see a radar fall. As long as the expansion is there, it's Gucci. Yep, another skeleton already doing a little bit of work. He's sending more units over, by the way. Ghoul is sent over, and since there's no watchtower, that Ghoul is eventually going to take down the entire worker line. Xlord at 47 supply. He's still trying to follow that up a bit. Has also the Pit Lord at the front. As long as Cash is down here, that Ghoul is going to wreck him. Guys, that Ghoul is going to destroy everything. And there's actually a second one sent over too. So that income is going to dry up very, very quickly. There's the War Storm. There's, on the other hand, the immediate damage into the back. Okay, nicely done. Level 4 for both heroes on the undead side. Lich and Death Knight both leveling up as we speak. Good Stomp again. And this time the focus onto the Pit Lord. There's the Potion of Lesser Invulnerability, but the level 5 for the TC. And he still has the Potion of Greater Mana. Cash is at 47 supply though. He's losing a lot, but so is Xlord. Xlord is down to 41, and he's losing more as we speak. Destroyer morph, but the Destroyer gets also wrecked. And all of a sudden, Xlord only has heroes. The Lich barely survives, but he does for now. Still has the Potion of Invulnerability in the inventory and uses it. Has to. But the entire undead army is pretty much destroyed. 30 supply for Xlord, 54 for Cash. That's the end of the Pit Lord, and I think at this point Xlord is just sheer out of luck. Even with the expansion at the top being completely destroyed of workers, it doesn't really seem like he has a chance there. Another statue goes down. Cash at 56 supply against 27. Xlord this time is on the ropes. Not even Xlord is recovering from that position. It's just not happening. It's not happening. It can't be happening. Well, he gets 2 units sniped, tries for more, plays around the level 4 heroes that he has. The Tyrant Chieftain is on level 5.5, by the way. You gotta be fucking kidding me. What? He kills the expansion? I mean, yes, destroying the worker line, oh, of course. But he killed the expansion with it. What? Xlord is actually still gonna hold on to this game a little bit longer. Expansion gets rebuilt immediately. Main base, 1,500 gold. I mean, Xlord cannot win this game. He just can't. I mean, seriously. Like, no. I refuse. Like, I don't accept that. I don't think that... No. Level 5 heroes on the Orc side. Both of them are 5. Tyrant Chieftain is gonna hit 6 at some point. Potion of Greater Mana at least has been used. 50 supply for Cash. Xlord is at 35. Even if he gets his heroes to level 5, just no. No, 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 no. This time, by the way, we also see a watchtower being built. So there's a watchtower on the way. I can't believe that he lost the expansion. I can't believe that. But again, like, no, I refuse. I refuse to believe that he has a chance to come back in this. 37 supply for Xlord. He has no level 5 heroes.
Forces are under attack.
And Cash is taking control. Look at the items. Potion of healing, scroll of healing, potion of lesser invulnerability on both heroes. And he's playing a little bit more patient. Pit Lord, not level 3. Death Knight, not level 5. This has to be game. It has to be. There's no way. There's no way you win this. Yeah, Xlord on 42 supply. Loses at least the slaughterhouse here. Yeah, now a little bit more damage against those grunts, but Xlord is gonna run out of army pretty soon. Nova connects. That's a grunt down, but again, still no level 3 for the Pit Lord. Okay. No mining just yet. Soon TM. Soon TM, we're gonna see more mining here. Cash is at 50 supply, has 700 gold though. And Xlord still sitting tight. Mana potion in inventory. He has a shit ton of Rod of Necromancies, guys. I mean, he has 4. 4 Rods of Necromancy. No. This is over. I'm sure of it now. I'm sure of it now. You can believe me. It is over. It is over.
Forces are under attack.
Has to be. Cash at 56 supply. Xlord at 41. Nah. Even the flying sheep knows it. Yeah, he's mining again. Come on, guys. We all know it's over, right? Xlord knows too. He has ghouls now. He has ghouls against a level 5 TC. Chain Lightning and Warstorm are gonna annihilate him. He has 1 Scroll of Healing. Of course this is over. Yeah, it is. 46 supply for Xlord. 63 for Cash. Orc player. Way ahead now. Alright, it's shop time. It's shop time. Acolytes get pulled too. Waited for everything to be destroyed. Yeah, over here. Ghouls.
A player's forces are under attack.
Where is he gonna send those ghouls? Main base? They're flanking in? Like, I don't know. They came from behind. Alrighty, this is it. The ghouls are still there, by the way. He wants to go for the back. Yeah, that's already a problem for the Death Knight. Yeah, AoE is there. No. DK trying to make it out. Scroll of Healing. Goodbye, that's it. Yes, that's the win. Cash wins the game. Death Knight is down. That has to be it. Xlord down to 37, 35, 33, 28, level 6 on the TC. Not even Xlord can win this one anymore. GG. And Cash takes game number 3 as we are heading into the 4th game of the Best of 5 series. Alright everybody, let's go! Game number 4, we are Northern Isles and, well, Cash has won the first map. Can he make the reverse sweep happen? Can he bring this to game 5? That's the big question. Xlord so far, down to the bottom left of the map, has pretty much throughout the entire tournament proven that his spirit animal is the cockroach. The guy is nearly unkillable. Every single time you think you have him eliminated, he's coming back somehow. But in game number 4, Cash finally found a way to drop him. TC on level 5 and towards the end on level 6 was the solution. And also pinning the Death Knight down into a corner and insta-killing him during the battle helped as well, as you might have guessed. But still, there were a couple of moments on that the third game. That was still insane. I mean, the expansion falling to 2 goals alone was kinda bonkers, but it actually happened. So now that we are on Northern Isles, we have Xlord at the bottom left in red once again. Death Knight opening for him, of course. Top right, that's where we see again the Farseer. So Cash at this point is just saying, okay, Blade Master didn't work, Farseer looked great, let's do the same thing again and drop that German bastard and make sure that game number 5 is coming up next. Yeah, Cash needs that pizza money today. So let's see if he can actually pull it off in force game number 5, or if Xlord is putting a stop to all of this and ending this series, the grand final, with a 3-1 victory over his opponent. As usual, the Acolyte is already underway, so we're gonna see him very quickly determine what kind of hero is being played here by Cash, and it will be a Farseer opening as already determined. So, yeah. I mean, Xlord has some insane micro, and honestly, I love the way that he's also just utilizing his macro skills to always... I mean, you could really tell it. During every single fight, he sent just a ghoul over into his opponent's economy line, was able to destroy all of the ghouls, all of the peons there, put a second one in. And of course, the watchtower would have really prevented a lot of this happening, but Cash didn't spend the resources for that. And Xlord exploited that, and those are those small things where you just have to pick up on him and then exploit them as much as you can. And Xlord is fantastic at all of these moves, and he's doing a great job with this. But can he actually pull through here and make that work? Because now we are already past midnight, so both of the players have been here for a long time. I mean, I've been casting for 7.5 hours right now, and the players, of course, having to focus the entire time on game after game after game, are also going to show some fatigue. So this is definitely going to play a little bit of a role. Russia is even a bit ahead when it comes to time zones, so of course, to an extent, the Eastern European players and Russian players are more or less, I don't want to say used to it, but they're a little bit more familiar with all of this, and it's not going to impact them too much, I would suppose, especially if you're looking at players that do that full time. Time shifts are something that they are very used to. It's just a different rhythm that they have. But of course, for Cash, to my knowledge, is already past 1 o'clock in the morning. So Xlord, when it comes to items, gets first of all the Ring of Protection, has also the Slippers of Agility, and a level 2 for the Death Knight. Always nice to have the Unholy Aura available to you. No harassment early on from either one of the players.
Player's forces are under
Farseer is just trying to get the creep in at the expansion again. I mean, shocking. Obviously, what we expect from Cash is that he's going to try and establish himself a second source of income as soon as possible. So that's currently what he's trying to do here. And, well, let's go. Yep, Cash is in and gets the Talisman of Evasion. Pretty decent against Focus Fire. It doesn't really do all that much when you're just getting harassed by Coil Nova nukes all the time. So that's an issue.
A player's forces are under attack.
Yeah, but he's getting this one for sure. Xlord is doing the same thing, by the way, and you might have seen in the previous matches that he played, if you followed the entire tournament, that he's definitely not shying away from putting an early expansion up himself. Or maybe not early, but that it's not only aggression against the opponent's second base that can lead to a win, but also expanding yourself is oftentimes doing the trick. I mean, some games in this very series were decided by him expanding quickly and then defending his base against the Orc aggression. So now that we have the Death Knight nearly on level 3, that's of course going to help him out too. And honestly, a high-level Death Knight is more impactful in the game than a high-level Farseer. When we're talking about second heroes, it's a bit of a different story. When, as you could see in the last game, having that TC with a level 3 stomp in the middle of the army is obviously a nightmare. But if it comes to that or not, that's a whole different question. So now that the expansion is already underway, yes, the Crypt Fiend is starting to attack here. And the Farseer, with the rest of the units, is already moving down to the bottom of the map, since he was a bit more worried about Xlord expanding too. But there's already a cancel forced on the expansion. So for Xlord, that's pretty much a bit of a win. Cash is going to try the same thing again, don't get me wrong, I mean, he's not going to stop. But it's still pretty good for Xlord to delay all of this as much as he can. Farseer now on the way up to the top. Idea is, of course, to catch that Crypt Fiend if possible, and he does. But can he kill it? That's the question. Xlord is already microing it away, and the Farseer is very unlikely to get too much done here. Wand of Mana stealing as Xlord steals the creep, and is now nearly on level 3, and cancels the tech! Beastery! Far out at the front and is about to be taken down. Yeah, that's a tech cancel right there, or is it? Maybe not. Actually, he might not be able to cancel it. Ooh, with the TC. One stomp is all you know. He's not going to be able to cancel it. Where's the peons? What? No peons for repair, and he actually canceled it just as it was basically done. Holy moly, Cash. Yep, Crypt Fiends comes in. Is like, ooh, look at that. Another base attempt. Oh my god. Lich is out. More Fiends are in. Tech into tier 3. Slaughterhouse and Cigarette. Oh. Cash has a problem. Yep. Everything has been revealed of what he's doing. Level 3 for the Death Knight are going to be huge now. And guys, this is a problem, and a big one at that. Losing the tech like this means that he doesn't have any raiders to lock down the fiends with ensnares, and it's going to be heavily delayed. So for the time being, the only thing that really threatens Xlord is actually that Warstorm. And with the army that he has on 30 supply, he can easily just spread out. That's a cancel. That's 100% a cancel. He sends a couple of skeletons down there, wants to see where the orc player is, but the base is already cancelled. Everything that Cash wants to do has been delayed. Everything. The tech, the expansion, and that's a disaster. Just now we have the beastry in, and there's the first raider being produced. But this is trouble. This is really trouble. And Xlord is freely taking to the 3. No problems. He has good items. Actually, both of the players have a parry of vitality for already comparing items here. And there's level 3 for the Death Knight. Yep, and that TC is still level 1. And as long as the TC is not on a higher level, he's not going to have any problems here. Xlord can now bait a couple of the creeps down, is already doing exactly that, is taking more experience. 1 down, 2 down, just slowly but steadily sneaking it in. Yep, 1 creep at a time. And he can take these fights if he wants to. I mean, he's having the statues already being produced. The first one is out, the second one is coming. So that's going to give him at least a sustain. Black Citadel is now in as well. So that means we could talk about the 3rd hero already. Plus, of course, the Orb of Corruption. Hello! Bought it already and can simply pass it over. And the TC is trying to fight through this. Nice aura, though. That's a neat one. Then again, he's heading into Berserkers, of course, again, but he still is going to have a couple of grunts at the front. Then the TC on level 2 himself benefits, of course, from this setup too. Alright, there's the raiders now. Now we're talking, but there's also the Frost Armor. There's the Coil. Yeah, has to try and stomp through this, but the Death Knight evades it. The Fiend still falls, though. Can he get the counter damage in? That's the bigger question. Fiends are in everywhere, and so far there's no Nova for the Lich, but that Frost Armor is an annoying play anyways. Yeah, the hits keep coming, but he just gets slowed the entire time. There's another Stomp attempt. Not really too much that he can do here. Another quick kill. Already another Coil, and that killed the Raiders. So that's a big deal. Orc burrows into 38 supply right now against 40. Cash is building the expansion again. Cash, TP passed over, and that's a town portal. Yeah, but another one of those Berserkers is down. The statue has fallen as well, on the other hand, and that's a problem. Cash is already cancelling it. He's like, fuck it, I'm gonna save the peon at least. Oh, Cash and these expansion cancels. How many is that now? 3? 3 times that he actually had to cancel that expansion. Yeah, and now we have the 3rd hero, of course, in. I mean, he got it in the last fight already, so the Dark Ranger is now starting to gain some experience down here. Not really a lot yet. Okay, knows exactly where he is. There's the creep check, but Rod of Necromancy is again reigning supreme. It's one of the big advantages, honestly, of Xlord in all of these fights. Having the Rod of Necromancy is just such a big deal and gives you a lot. Alright. Gets the Force Reward on level 6 right here. That's good experience for him too. Silence is in. Needs to spread the units out a little bit. Nice. Wand of the Wind. Big one. That was a huge deal right now. Keeping that TC out of the fight is massive. Lich on level 2 now. Got the level up, and that means that he has Nova available. Still Frost Armor, the main focus. Crypt Fiend actually not surviving here. Xlord on 35 supply. Cash at 43. Cash is starting to do a little bit better with all of this. And he's also starting to try and snack some of those fiends up. The Kodo Beast didn't get anything here right now. But Xlord is actually a bit behind in... no star. Xlord is a little bit behind on levels here. And that Lich is in trouble. And there's a surround attempt against the Death Knight. And guys, that's going to be a town portal. No, not yet. No town portal for him right now. And the fight is still continuing. It's still not over. But there's the Chain Lightning. Yeah, he tries to get another kill, but it's not really happening. So there's still one fiend that he didn't burrow. 41 supply against 46. Cash, guess what, is trying to expand again. I know, shocking. You didn't expect that at all. But there we have it.
Forces are under attack.
Alright. Yeah, Xlord doesn't have a town portal anymore. Honestly, Cash isn't doing that badly, considering that he had to delay everything the entire time, considering how much trouble he was in previously. This is not too shabby. There's a level 2 though for the Dark Ranger. Lich is on level 2 as well. Wand of Illusion in the inventory. And Xlord needs to level those heroes up quickly if he really wants to get farther ahead here. Dark Ranger also might... No, she's not going to get caught. No, I mean, it's close. The Raiders, if they would have been there, would have guaranteed the kill, more or less. But the Potion of Lesser Invulnerability is also being bought by the undead player, which means that it's not available to the Orc. So that's also big. Ooh, Tusker Trap at level 4. Yeah, he's going to steal that. And he's going to try and make his play for the Obsidian Statue. That's another one down. Good silence against the Tauren Chieftain at least. Good damage against him too, but he can't get the kill. And a few of these creeps are now being stolen away by Cash. Cash is sitting on 2 level 3 heroes, one of them about to level up to level 4. Yeah, he's better on the experience and has an expansion now. And this time, yep. Do we see a watchtower? Still a fight at the bottom, so mining is about to start for Cash. Cash is in a good spot. 50 supply against 47 though. Oh, okay, Raiders down, snipes them one at a time. Fiend is also falling, that's level 4, that's the Storm, that's the focus on the Lich, but he's not gonna die that easily. It's not gonna happen. And another attempt at saving the Fiend. Oh, the Dark Ranger actually, my bad, he doesn't have mana anymore. Oh my god, that bad girl made it out. I was about to say bad boy. Anyways, Dark Ranger makes it out. Bad girl, naughty girl, oh yeah. Anyways, now that we have that fight happening, we have currently 48 supply for Xlord and 48 for Cash. And those 2 Khaldors still haven't devoured anything, but they're of course the focus of attention. Pretty expensive units there. But Xlord still doesn't have level 3. That Lich needs a level 2 Nova, and his Death Knight isn't on 4 either. He's so close on leveling up every single hero that he has. Well, actually not quite true in his first 2 heroes. But he's just not there yet. So now playing around the... playing at least around the creeps is going to help him a little bit. Our naughty girl over here is not going to make it to level 3 anytime soon, but at least the other 2 heroes leveling up would mean a lot. It's unbelievable, actually. The Death Knight didn't still hit level 4. It was on 3.9 already before he took that thing down. Alright. Up at the top. Still no watchtower, by the way. Xlord is expanding now. Has just started that, but I feel we're going to see a wolf come into that very, very soon and spot it. But Cash might just be able to force game 5. Xlord is at 48 supply, and again, he's recovering here now. Cash is at 59.
A town is
so that's siege. That, but as I said, he spots it pretty much immediately. So, yeah, Dire Wolf scouts it out, and Xlord hasn't really cancelled yet, but if anything is sent down to the bottom, we will have to.
Forces are under attack.
Okay, over here, Xlord already with the Skeleton Warrior, but it's time for the items. It's time to get to the big boys. Magnator Reaver with the chaos damage. Need to take that one down. He needs the gold, he needs the experience, and he needs the items. And that's exactly where he's headed. And he's going to get all of that now. And he honestly needs to make a couple of play like this. If he doesn't go for the big camps, then he is going to fall farther and farther behind, and he can't really afford to do that. So now with the coil saving the units, the Magnator Reaver goes down. That's a double level up. And as the item, the Warsong Battle Drums. Alright, that's already a big win. Big item for him. Doesn't have a town portal, keep that in mind. No town portal for Xlord. Sends the skeletons over. And guys, there's one watchtower that's finally being built by Cash, and I think he should be able to get a lot done with this. Unless there's a canceller through the rest of the minions that get sent over. Right. Trying to snipe the crypt, but here comes the fight. Alright, that's one of the moments where Xlord really has to pull through, and he has to dig deep for this one. 51 supply for him, Cash is at 56. Not a big difference at this point, but with a good stomp, we could see the undead player fall apart here. Level 4 and level 3 hero, plus a Dark Ranger that nearly hits level 3. There it is. Level 3 and silence on level 2 thanks to it. Dark Ranger in this thick of things, and the TC has to TP back as more units are being lost all over the place. And up to the top, watchtower is down. Of course it's down. Why am I even questioning this? Seriously. Of course Xlord just sends a couple of units to the top, takes the watchtower apart, and then starts to demolish the entire PN line. Of course he does. Why am I questioning this even? Base down here is starting to mine. I mean, far away from actually yielding real dividends. He needs more acolytes in order to make that happen. But Xlord is now at 51 supply. Not where you typically want to be, just in the low upkeep. Cash is on 50, so he is not paying any taxes. And here come the next set of Dark Minions. Yeah, and it's just after it was defended, and guess what? There's another watchtower. So off we go. And Cash is actually pulled back because of it. Yeah, Cash is sitting there as like, okay, I guess I have to take care of it. Which buys Xlord time. It buys him time. He's starting to creep again. And honestly, the fact alone that he's going to have more items because he has 3 heroes, outside of the fact that 3 heroes with abilities are of course incredibly powerful, is going to be another advantage for him eventually if this trend continues. Xlord is at 58 supply. Cash is at 60. They're close. 0 upgrades on the Fiends, but I don't think we have any on the Berserkers either. Actually, we have 1. Headhunters on 1 attack upgrade.
The player's forces are
and the main base, no tier 3 tech for him. But again, over and over. It's just the Dark Minions making it in and trying to take those peons down. And he gets one. 1 peon is down. Might get even a little bit more if he targets. But this continuous trend of Xlord to send just all of these minions over is really throwing Cash off. Heavily. He's always moving around the Orc player's army, and he's always starting to snipe at least 1 peon, maybe a second. I don't even think... Okay, he has a couple more than he actually needs to, but yeah, he lost the peon over there. Alright, that's a choke point where he doesn't want to fight. Gotta be careful now. Radar's down immediately. Uh-oh, that stomp. That silence, potion of invulnerability cancels it. And the first stomp is out. Level 4 on the Tyrant Chieftain, but he goes into the choke point right now. Destroyer's already a little bit low. In comes the TC again, trying to rush away from it. The coil comes in quickly. Yeah, and here's the Nova. Good damage already. AoE damage is in. 56 supply on the side of Cash. Xlord is in the supply lead. Xlord has taken the lead in supply. The TC with all the damage, and the Potion of Greater Healing is doing so much work here, but also the Berserkers, the Headhunters, they are falling one after another. Cash is at 52 supply and Xlord is at 53, starting to lose quite a few units here, especially the Destroyers are struggling. Destroyers are struggling. It comes down to the Blight. The Rubian Tower is in. So is the Ziggurat currently being upgraded into a Spirit Tower. But the TC is proving to be a mad problem. Coming in as the second and not the third hero makes all the difference here. Having the high level Stomp is insane. Yeah, quick Stomp attempt again, maybe. But the Lich is going to be safe for now. Has level 4 now himself, as the Death Knight is nearly on level 5, I might add. The Farsi has already reached level 5. But now it's time to chase again, and Xlord is always happy to chase down an opponent that is wounded. Cash is back to 46 supply right now, and he's starting to lose unit after unit, especially the Kodos are getting attacked here. Another one down. Destroyers, always good for a Dispel. Now Cash is going to lose another Kodo. Death Knight is absolutely not afraid anymore. Has level 5, has the Potion of Lesser Invulnerability in the inventory, and the Dark Ranger on level 4. GG! Xlord makes it happen. He wins the tournament, crowns himself the champion of Ryzing Cup number 12 with a 3-1 victory over Cash. GG, and well played. Hey everybody, thank you very much for watching the video today. I hope that you guys had some fun with the coverage here. If you want to support me and my work, you can do so now for absolutely free, thanks to your continued partnership with Ray throughout the entire month of March. And I would really appreciate if you could just take a couple of minutes, jump down in the YouTube description, check the link out, download the game, and play through the 20-second tutorial that ends with the dragon fight. And if you do that, you support me directly, it would help me a lot, and I would really appreciate if you could take a few minutes to do that and support the channel here. Either way, I hope that you guys had a good day today, and see you guys soon on the channel here with more esports coverage on Khaldor TV. Bye bye.